Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Arif from class 64.1A.02 Management Major. I would like to give my opinion from those who still smoke around the campus area. For me, as a non-smoker, this is very disturbing and is a selfish act because it interferes with the comfort of others, the health of others, and the damage of the cleanliness of the environment. I believe that a smoking ban in this area is a necessary step. Campus is a public space filled with a thousand of people engaged in various activities, from walking, studying in the park, and even just conversing. The presence of cigarette smoke in such a space poses a serious threat to the right of non-smokers to breathe a clean air and can trigger the health problem such as asthma or irritation. Furthermore, the lingering smell of smoke and the litter of cigarette butts created a pollution and a dirty impression that is out of sync with the image of an education institution. The perspective of value and image. A campus should be a role model and an agent of change in society. In modern campuses around the world have moved toward the concept of smoke-free area as a form of commitment to a healthy lifestyle and civilization. Allowing cigarette smoke to fill the areas around the campus can instead erode this fundamental value and send ambiguous message to the public. However, we must also be fair by acknowledging the right of smokers. The core issue does not lie in the act of smoking itself, but in its secondary effect, which disturb the comfort and health of others. Therefore, the best approach is not a simple prohibition, but thoughtful regulation. I also spoke with a friend who smoked. He mentioned that he personally make an effort to maintain a distance from the non-smokers. However, he admitted the complete the completely refraining from smoking of campus remained a quite a challenging for him. The fairest and the most human solution is to establish clear non-smoking zone across all indoors campus area, while providing educated smoking area is a scheduled location around the premise. This designated zone should be stragglity space for far from crowd, main entrance and the classroom windows, and equipped with proper ventilation and sufficient trash bin. Equally important, the campus must complement this policy with ongoing education and tangible support program, such as smoking cessation solution for a student and staff who wish to quit the habit. Ultimately, the goals of these policies is to create a campus environment that is healthy, comfortable, and civilized for all parties, both both smokers and non-smokers. By adopting an approach that protect non-smokers, respect the right of smokers, by providing a solution and activity support those who wish to quit, the campus can the campus can become a tangible example of resolving a social issue with wisdom and fully consideration. That concluded my opinion on smoking in the campus area. I hope this can be a solution for us all. Thank you. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Arif from class 64.1A.02 Management Major. I will be explaining the topic of the simple present test. We will discuss the definition, formula, and the function. Definition: the simple present tense is fundamental grammatical tense in the English language. It is primarily used to describe general truth, habitual action, and unchanging situation. It is the most frequently used test in everyday English communication. Basic structure. The, the foundational structure of the affirmative sentence is the simple present is subject plus verb. However, the critical grammatical rules that govern this tense is subject and verb agreement. Specifically for third person singular subject he, she, and it, the verb must take an "s" or "s" suffix. This rule is a cornerstone of grammatical accuracy in English and is non-negotiable in a formal writing and speech. Verb conjugation with plural subject. When the subject of the sentence is I, you, we, or they, the verb remains its best form without any alteration. This applies to all verbs except the irregular verb to be and to have. For example, I work on a complex project. You manage the team effectively. We develop innovative solutions, and and they analyze market trend. The consistency of the verb from with the subject makes them relative, relatively straightforward to use. Verb conjugation with third person singular. For, for third person singular subject he, she, and it, the verb must be conjugated. This typically involves adding "s". For instance, he leads the department. She completes the monthly report, and the system automates the process. This conjugation, this conjugation is a fundamental marker of proficiency that is strictly observes, observers to maintain grammatical correctness in all forms of discourse. Detailed spelling rules "s" and "us". The application of the third-person singular suffix follows specific orthographic rules. We add "us" when the base verb ends in ch, which s, us, x, or o. For example, teach become teaches, fix become fixes. If the verb ends with a consonant followed by y, we change the y a to a and at us like study become studies, carry become carries. These rules ensure correct pronunciation and spelling. The irregular verb to be. The verb to be is highly irregular and does not follow the standard conjugation rules. In the simple present, it has three distinct from M for I is for he, she, it, and R for you, we, and they. It is used to describe states of being, identify, and condition. For example, I am a researcher. She is an expert in her field, and we are going to park. The irregular verb to have. The verb to have is another key irregular verb in a conjugated to has for the third person singular. He, she, it, and remains. Have for all other subject. It is used to dedicate possession, relationship, or obligation. Explains explanations include: I have a proposal. He has the necessary credential, and we have a deadline to meet. For function, for function number one, stating general truth and fact. The first primary function of the simple present is to express statements that are universally accepted as true, including scientific fact, geographical description, and established theories. These statements are perpetual and not confined by time. For instance, the sun rises in the east. Water consists of hydrogen and oxygen, and effective communication underpins successful leadership. Function number two, describing habit and routines. Distance is the primary structure for describing repeated or habitual action. These are often but not always signaled by adverb of frequency. This function allows us to talk about what regularly occurs in our personal and professional life. For example, she consistently reviews her goals. The team meet every Monday morning, and I usually prepare an agenda beforehand. Function number three: discussing a fixed schedule. Despite being a present tense, it is conventionally used to describe future events that are based on a fixed timetable, such as those for transportation, classes, or public events. This use implies that the event is unchangeable and a part of an official schedule. For example, the flight departs at 6 p.m. The conference begins next Wednesday, and the seminar ends at 4 p.m. Advert of frequency, usage, and placement. Adverb of frequency such as always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never are integral to describe habit. Their placement is a rule-based. They typically appear before the main verb but after the verb to be. Correct placement is a key to natural sounding English. Compare. He is he is always punctual after B, and he always submit his work on time before the main verb. Uh, Forming negative sentence. To construct negative sentence, we employ the auxiliary verb do not, jadi, eh, jadi don't, and does not menjadi doesn't. The structure is subject plus do or does plus not plus base verb. The critical point is that a maintained verb refers to its base form, shedding any s ending. For example, we do not or don't tolerate plagiarism, and he doesn't require future assistance. Analysis of negative sentence example. Let's analyze this example to reinforce the structure, and they don't support that hypothesis. Do not is used with the plural subject they. In this model, doesn't account for all variables. Does not is used with the singular subject model and the main verb account. Remain in is based from this structure is consistent across all negative formation. Forming yes or no question. To formulate question that required a yes or no answer, we use in person the structure is do or does plus subject plus base verb. The auxiliary verb do or does is fronted and the main verb again remains in its base form. This is a fundamental interrogative structure in English. For instance, do you have the latest data? And does this conclusion follow from the evidence? Example and responses to yes or no question. Here are further examples. Do the results show a significant correlation? Does the author provide sufficient evidence? A proficient short answer mirror the auxiliary verb. Yes, they do. Or no, he doesn't. Full answer would be yes, the results show a correlation, or no, the author does not provide sufficient evidence. Contraction WH question. For open-ended questions speaking specific information, we use question word what, where, when, why, who, and how. The structure is WH, a word plus do and does plus subject plus base verb. This allowing for detailed inquiry. Example include why does this phenomenon occur? How do you interpret these findings? And where do we go from here? Comprehensive function summary. The considered the simple present tense serve three three core purposes. First, to articulate general truth, knowledge empower individuals. Second, to describe habit and routines, humility meticulously document his process. Third, third, to reference fixed future schedule. The submission portal closes at midnight. Uh, rec- reco- recognize- Recognizing the context is a key to selection the correct function. Common grammatical pitfalls. Two preval Two prevalence error must be avoided. First, omitting the third person as "she managed the project" is incorrect. It must be "she manages". Second, double conjugation. Using "an" and "us" on the main verb after "doesn't" is a common mistake. It doesn't work. It's grammatically flawed. The correct form is "it doesn't work", as the auxiliary "does" already carries the grammatical load. Conclusion and Q&A is in conclusion, the simple present tense will seemingly simple versat- is a versatile and powerful tool for expressing timeless truth, routines, and scheduled events. Mastery of its conjugation rules, particularly this person singular, and a clear understanding of this function are independent, indispensable for academic and professional communication. Thank, Thank you for your attention. I am now open to any question you might have. Uh, Thank you. I hope my explanation is clear and sorry if there are any mistake. Goodbye.